Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is smash the like button on this video like it's a pre-transition Ellen page, so it reaches a wider audience. And now on with the memes. Number one, this woman says it's time to normalize banging with your friends. I'm sure her AI-generated friends can't wait to have sex with her. But seriously, sex shouldn't be treated this casually. That's how we got to this state in our society where the majority of women aren't able to bond with men for marriage because they're alpha widows, or because their emotional circuits have been fried. Also, how many women actually have sex with their friends? Their male friends are in the friend zone for a reason, and they ain't coming out. Up next, according to the green line theory, it looks like Bezos is screwed. But I don't need green lines to know that. I knew he was done when he brought her kid and her ex-husband onto his yacht. The best possible outcome for the green line test is if both of you stand up straight. That's when you know the relationship is well balanced and neither side is codependent to the other. Poor Lex Loser here looks like he's going to be divorce-raped a second time. He deserves better though. Number 3 here, Canada's 4 seasons. Of course we don't have summers, but we need them to fix the roads damaged by ice and snow. I'm so tired of this, and that's why I become a snowbird part-time. Also, let's not forget that this is missing our wild forest fire season. It's the end of May and cold, and I still can't go outside because of my cold allergy. Canada has to be one of the worst places in the world to have this autoimmune condition, cold urticaria. Moving on, here's what it's like living in the world of stagflation/inflation. Energy and asset prices keep going up fast, but your salary goes up slow. If you think these are bad, then just look at the speed of the average person's bank accounts. This is why you need to cut costs as low as possible. Save as much money as you can and invest it in the fastest growing assets, and also figure out how to time the markets to some extent. Only then might you actually have a chance at living a middle-class lifestyle these days. Number 5, check this out. Extremely conservative men have 4 times as many kids as extremely liberal ones. The right thinks this is good news, but in reality it's not the win you think it is because conservative men are barely at replacement levels too. On the positive side of things, within 3 to 4 generations, at least society becomes more sane and the degeneracy dies down to some extent. Ultimately, for the left, they can't recruit faster than the right reproduces, so they'll lose. Optics, remember guys, don't let a little bit of cleavage tempt you, or a big bit of cleavage like in this picture. Single mothers also have to show off their moneymakers to give them the advantage. This is just them fishing for a simp with money to boost their lifestyle. Just remember, if you slum it with one of these women, all these push-up bras and yoga pants eventually come off. Try not to show the surprise on your face when you see all that sag. Number 7, this guy was scammed out of hundreds of pounds by an AI-generated Jennifer Aniston. Is that all? Guys out there be losing their houses to scammers, and this guy is complaining about losing his booze and smokes money. Clearly that's not Aniston. That looks more like a Filipino with a face filter. In real life, she's not short on cash and apparently is worth $300 million. These are the people who got his money. Moving on, speaking of getting scammed, reportedly Ben Affleck is dating J-Lo again, after he gave her his share of the $60 million mansion they had that they settled through in divorce. If he's dating her again, then this guy clearly doesn't stop simping. Either that or he's scared of her. Maybe he should have learned from his friend Matt Damon just to date and marry an average woman instead of crazy narcissistic female celebrities. Maybe he told J-Lo, just keep that house and I'll take my piece. Number 9, in Canada, if you're in the top 40% of households, you've seen your net savings grow over the last 5 years. But if you're in the bottom 60%, you've seen your net savings shrink. This is what wealth inequality looks like. Looks like for the majority of Canadians, elbows up is rapidly turning into ankles up. But of course this is happening because of inflation caused by money printing, as well as energy prices rising lately due to the Iran war. Up next, here's Katy Perry back in 2006 working as a waitress. Great, so now she can make Justin a sandwich and he can teach her how to ski because he was a former ski instructor in addition to a substitute drama teacher. Those were his qualifications for becoming the Prime Minister of Canada. He only got power because of his last name. Katy Perry, on the other hand, had to work hard and be talented. She's definitely the man in their relationship. Number 11, you might have heard of Uber Eats before, but have you heard of Uber Feeds? This woman adds her feet to delivery pictures to increase her tips. She probably gets more food orders as well because lonely guys are hoping she stops by so they can meet her. You know, this is probably working so well that the next set of photos will be fries between her toes. I wouldn't be surprised if Quentin Tarantino started requesting for her deliveries too. Moving on, I still can't believe they found Putin's daughter living in Paris and her secret life as a DJ. She's hot and just wants to be left alone, and to get as far away as possible from that shit show that's called Ukraine. What I want to know is how this is kept secret for so long. I guess anyone who found out, the KGB would put him in the Sen. She's dropping beats in Paris while her father drops bombs on people in Ukraine. At least one of them is doing something positive. Number 3, he's 103 years old and she's 101. And they've been together for 80 years. Impressive that they meet on Tinder. My parents are at 50 now. As for this couple, I'm not sure that they're actually real, as their hands look suspiciously AI generated. They say it's supposed to be that way, but I'm not so sure. Looks like somebody is looking for engagement bait. That seems to be all the Twitter X is about these days. Mostly fake AI generated stories to get eyeballs, clicks, and cash. Up next, looks like Australia is following the lead of Canada and appointing a woman to lead the army for the first time ever. Gee, what could possibly go right? I suspect this is going to end up like the New Zealand naval ship sunk by her female captain, all over again. Or like the female helicopter pilot who crashed into a passenger plane after she was ordered to change course. It's crazy watching all these Western countries weaken their militaries like this. Number 15, check out the graph of the week showing that happiness is declining for every group in Canada except for the boomers. And they keep on voting for the Liberal Party that keeps wrecking the country. Today I drove across Toronto to watch a concert and couldn't believe how much the Gardiner Expressway's deteriorated with all them repairs. I didn't see such bad infrastructure even going through Pittsburgh and Cleveland and other Rust Belt cities. It's a total disgrace. Moving on, here's the difference between the male hunter-gatherer skull and the modern man. Looks like all men were once Chads. Men are de-evolving into soy boy incels, it seems. The ancient hunter-gatherers look so cool that their eye sockets look like sunglasses. Even the women back then had greater bone density than modern pro athletes. I guess we've become soft and weak due to technology, and that process has only accelerated with Gen Z. And I can't imagine what Gen Alpha is going to look like one day. Number 17, a woman, probably a fat one, says that real men don't care how a girl looks naked. That's a joke. Of course men care, especially if she's smuggling 100 pounds of cottage cheese in her Spanx. I can handle fat to some extent, but when you've got bad skin or rough skin, it's just way too much for me. It means that they don't eat healthy food and take care of themselves. This all sounds like something an unattractive woman would say to gaslight guys into liking her. Up next, a luxury fashion brand is selling a shirt with a fake iron burn mark for over $1,100. Does anyone know how to iron anymore? Maybe the idea is to project that you have a woman at home that irons shirts for you. This reminds me of the dumb fashion trend from back in the day with ripped jeans. Although this is probably nothing more than the epic trolling from rich people on the poor. Number 19, when a woman you're dating asks you a question and the truth gets you dumped and a lie gets you laid, what do you say? Do you lie? In my latest dating experiments, if women hear a hint of something they don't like, they almost seem to ghost immediately. And I've spoken to so many of them now in the last 6 months that I have no interest in playing childish games. If they hear something they don't like and still stick around, then they're genuinely liking you. If not, it's their loss. I have zero emotional connection to women anymore. They're just NPCs to me now. Moving on, looks like being the Prime Minister of Hungary sure did a number on Viktor Orban. But at least he kept diversity and Richmond out of the country. People say these photos are 28 years apart, so it doesn't count. Yet here's what he looked like back in 2010. But yes, in the first photo, that was him being elected back in the 90s. And there are even photos of him out there at the White House meeting with Slick Willie Clinton back then. He's been the leader there on and off for 28 years. Number 21, there's a new study with the Amish in America. And it shows that only 4% are childless and only 9% have less than 3 kids. I wonder what their fertility rate would be if they didn't have the English to protect them. They're like the Orthodox tiny hats with a high birth rate too, but only because they use the people in their secular societies to do things like defense and resource production. After all, even the Amish rely on things like natural gas to some extent. Up next, why is it that men weighing the same weight as women look a lot skinnier? That's because muscle is denser than fat cottage cheese thighs, as well as that male brain matter. Here's the perfect example of what's going on. And don't forget that men are also taller. And in this picture, it looks like the woman is trying to look taller by standing on her tippy toes. The guy on the left also looks gayer than a goose for some reason too. Number 23, the wall takes them all, including Lonnie Wilson. She looks like she's turning into quite a California raisin. I couldn't find the latest picture anywhere, so I'm guessing it's AI generated until proven otherwise. But at this rate, she's actually going to look like that in another 10 years with a little bit of crack. It really makes you wonder how many beautiful women out there turned into monkeys' behinds due to age and drug use. Moving on, here's how girls act 2 hours before ghosting you forever. Of course, because they're trying to suck what attention they can from you without having to suck you. Poor Elon, I don't know how he's ever going to recover after being dumped by Miss Boobs here. All this AI, I'm surprised that someone hasn't perfected a holodeck yet, where they put on an AR glasses and you actually do interactive narratives. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Number 25 and the last one, scientists find traces of cannabis in pipes found in William Shakespeare's garden. I knew it. To doobie or not to doobie? That's the question. Also, one of the original lines from Romeo and Juliet is, "Where art thou, Romeo? You said half an hour and a half ago." Dude was so good at writing that they thought it was a whole team of writers that were involved in putting out his plays. My favorite is still Titus, and that was his first successful one. Watch the film with Anthony Hopkins if you want a good laugh. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm, and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series and want me to keep making it, then donate it to PayPal and Subscribestar links. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.